Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints take on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr., and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Easy. Ready. Waiting.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Oh, now he bowls him over. And now look at him go. The 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there on the first. Play of the game, 43 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Ready. Waiting.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And Thomas has it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. Fights loose. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Ready.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
2nd down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here you go.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 46 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
And Manti Te'o started to reclaim his form as a middle linebacker in 2017 after 4 seasons with the Chargers out on the West Coast. An excellent run stopper, understands the passing game really well, and down the stretch, made big play after big play to help the Saints to the playoffs.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Here we go, 46. 46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Ready, yellow lady.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same and probably a little bit extra.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Right side here, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Swing. Swing to the field. Right. To the right. Here we go. Wide in.
They'll give to Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here you go.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 1 quarter in the books here on a Thursday night. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott rolling to his right. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down.
Defense.
Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Swing to the field.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be second and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He's to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here's Thompson on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
46.
A second down throw for Prescott. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. on 1st and 10. Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
1st down, Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone. Oh, Prescott stripped, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
To throw, it's Breeze. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to go deep for Beasley, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
Still
offside's
2nd down.
easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On third down, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
An attempt at a deep ball there they didn't get. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Breeze now on first down. And Josh Hill has it. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, first and 15. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now Breeze. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
To throw is Breeze. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10.
Ready. Ready.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's third down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Ready. Waiting.
Now Breeze again. Finds his man. Watson over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they get set to play host to the Chicago Bears. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being in Tennessee, where it'll be the Titans at home in Nashville, taking on the New York Jets. And finally, Monday Night Football heads to Seattle, with the Vikings trying to break a 4-game losing streak to the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it then. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rush. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Breeze now to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Following the penalty, it's Camara to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A give. This is Camara. Dropped at the 35, but he was able to display the agility there. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, chill.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready? You waiting?
Here's Breeze. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Hill's hit, and he lost the football.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Off play action. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Shotgun now for Breeze. Caught on the left side by Ginn. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Breeze now. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Ready. You waiting?
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face
Personal
mask.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Breeze now on first down. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher...
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next Timeout, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And this is picked up by the Saints. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Finding room to the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Breeze. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken short. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On third down, it's Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this is incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. The Saints on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. The busy night continues for Camara. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line linebackers really work well together.
And Lutz's kick is good. But wait up now. A flag is down. If this is on the defense,
offside.
They're going to get the first. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Now Prescott. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
On the counter, Ingram. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football is...
Is this intercepted? It is! It's intercepted! Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Here's Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. On 1st and 10, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Prescott yet again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Prescott to throw it. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there for the 20th time this year as he continues what could be a record-setting season. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. Airing it out for Hearns. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Prescott on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it second and short.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott from the gun. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And the athleticism on this spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's Elliott, complete. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down. The give is to Elliott. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw is Prescott. Time for a break, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Second down, Prescott. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now.
Free kick out of bounds.
I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Done.
A first down throw for Prescott. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On the ground, Kamara. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Saints, the win for them is number 6 on the year. And they'll get a few extra.